We want to welcome everybody that's jumping on, and it is so great to see so many faces. We are so excited to share with you, and we're going to be getting started in just a couple minutes. We're going to get started. Somehow I got muted. We're going to start in one more minute. Thank you to everyone who's joining. It's good to see so many faces. Okay, everybody. Here we are. It is so good to see everyone. We are so excited to do this panel tonight. This is something that has been a vision for a few months now, and it's just going to come to fruition tonight, and we're so very thankful. So we're super excited that all of you have taken the time out of your weekday night to stop whatever you are doing and join us, or maybe you're still doing what you're doing and joining us. And that's what we're all very used to. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Sarah Pessman. I'm from Folsom, Illinois, and I have been married for 25 years to my husband, Eric. We were high school sweethearts, and we have 3 children that are almost grown adults now. We have one that's 21, one that's 19, and one that's 17. And I just want to share a little bit of my story on how I got introduced to activation, and the reason that we're inviting all of you here tonight is because it's grown to be a passion of my heart to be able to share this, not only in my everyday life, but in spaces like this. So you're going to meet Jen, my friend, here in a little bit towards the end of the call tonight. And she's the one that put this information in front of me and said, hey, Sarah, I found out some amazing health news, and I know how you think, and I think you're going to love it. And will you look at it and see what you think and let me know? And so I did. I watched a video, and I was like, wow, I was taken back. I was like, I think this is what I've been praying for. I would go to the store, and I wanted to do the things that were healthy and right for my body. I wanted to be able to eat well, get good food out of the grocery store, but also it seemed like supplementing would be a good option versus like doing stuff proactively versus reactively. And so I was looking into supplements, and I was filling up my cart with all kinds of them. And then I would get home, and I would be so overwhelmed with what do I all take together? How many of each? How do I, get my whole family to do this? What's good for them? And like, how much is that going to be? I'm going to have like cupboards full of this stuff. And I was just so overwhelmed that I would paralyze. That's what I do with some things, is like I try to go into action. I don't know what I'm doing, and I paralyze. And so that's the point that I had gotten to when she had reached out to me. And so when I heard this, I was like, wow, I believe this could be an answer to my prayer. And so I prayed about it, and I was like, God, is this something that you want me to do? And I really felt a strong urge that the answer was yes. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to ask my husband and see what he says. And so I asked him to watch it the same way I did and let me know what he thought. And he came back to me 5 days later and he's like, Sarah, I think you should do this. And it shocked me, honestly, because he, he's not like pro medicine, he's not pro supplements. He's kind of more free for all. And so I was really shocked that he was like, I really think you should do this. And so I brought it back to God and I was like, he said yes. Like, so here, like, I don't know. I was like, I'm so busy. Our kids were in the thick of things with all their sports and extracurriculars and our oldest son going off to college that I has just started a brand new women's ministry at our church that I was leading. And so the idea of starting another thing on the side was, and I work a 40-hour corporate work job, day job. So I was like, God, I don't have the capacity to do this. And I clearly heard him say, it's not your capacity, Sarah, it's mine. And I was like, how can you say no to that? I was like, okay, here we go. So that's a little bit of my story. And I've been so thankful ever since that I said yes. I have met some incredible people, worked alongside some incredible people. You're going to get to meet some of them tonight. They are just a joy and a delight, and you're going to be blessed by them. But it's also pushed me to grow myself. And, that's not always easy to do. So God has blessed me in multiple ways with health, but also with being stretched, stretching my own self. And I'm so grateful for the grace of all those that are allowing me to do this. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to some of our panelists that are going to be sharing tonight. I do want to say that we always start with a disclaimer that we don't treat, heal, cure, mitigate any diseases, that we're only giving to you what we've learned and the life-changing stories that have been shared with us to encourage you and inspire you and to bless you. So our first speaker tonight is Bethany Stillwell, and I want to tell you a little bit about her. She's a wife and co-homeschool mom of their 4 children with her husband, Dave, a registered nurse, an owner of an online used bookstore, a daughter of God and follower of Jesus, loves to read, learn, and grow her mind. Homestead life is of high interest, and she takes great joy in her garden. Bethany is passionate about people knowing Jesus and the good news of salvation. She strives to honor God with her whole self through wellness of mind, body, and soul, and hopes to inspire others. So, Bethany, if we could start with you, the first question we have for you is, when did you hear about LifeVantage and activation?
Sure. So I heard about LifeVantage in 2018 from a friend, and I think she's on here tonight. But I was most interested in what was called their flagship product, or the product that started the company, which I have here, is Protandim Nerve 2, and the little yellow activator that it is. I'm a nurse, as you heard, and science interests me a lot. And I'd never heard of the NRF2 pathway. I had never heard of activation in the realm of science. I'd never heard of superoxide dismutase. I just vaguely heard of oxidative stress and free radicals. Those are things that weren't talked about in nursing school. If they were, they went in one ear, out the other, and they were mentioned once because I don't remember them. So to say I was intrigued, yes, I was. But I didn't actually start taking Protandim Nerve 2 right away. I was still kind of in that Western mindset. I still was in nursing. And my thought was that this was kind of like, I thought supplements were similar to pharmaceuticals in the sense that they were meant for, if you had a problem, you take them. I didn't understand preventative care at that time, but I wondered how this little guy, as I was learning about him, how he could help my family members. I had family with some heart issues, gut issues, like I had family with some skin issues, autoimmune issues, inflammatory issues. And I thought, well, maybe it's something that could help them. And so I wanted to know more. What I didn't understand, like I said, was that it's more that there's preventative measures as well. And in the supplements and in food, I didn't know any of that. So it's all new to me. I didn't understand NRF2 was for everyone, that we all had a NRF2 pathway to activate, and that this product was for everybody, not just people with problems.
Yes, good point. Wow. So after learning that Nerf 2 is beneficial for everyone, can you explain to us what Nerf 2 is and why do we need to activate our Nerf 2 pathway?
Sure. So NRF2, or you'll hear it NRF2, it's actually an acronym, and it stands for nuclear factor erythroid 2. And I'm going to read a little definition to help us clear the air here. It is a master transcription factor that upregulates antioxidant response elements, mediated expression of antioxidant enzymes, and cytoprotective proteins. It has a key role in controlling the intercellular redox environment by regulating the expression of antioxidant enzymes and several important genes related to redox homeostasis. That's clear as mud, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me read another little definition. Maybe it'll help us. NRF2 is responsible for regulating an extensive panel of antioxidant enzymes involved in the detoxification and protection against oxidative stress to your cells and to your entire body. Maybe that's a little bit more clear to some of us. But let me break it down like I have to break things down from the science world for you. So NRF2 pathway is a pathway in your body that God created and designed and put in all human bodies,
Mhm.
also in other mammals like dogs and horses. It's not something, like I thought at the beginning, that LifeVantage created. It is not something that the creator of this Synergizer created. It is a pathway in all of our bodies, and it plays a key role in balancing our body by reducing oxidative stress. So what is oxidative stress? Because I didn't know much about that either. It is the imbalance of what's called free radicals and antioxidants in our body. With the buildup of free radicals and an unsatisfactory antioxidant defense system, we get unmatched free radicals, and free radicals cause damage, destruction, and even death to our cells and other molecules like our DNA, lipids, other proteins, and enzymes. And all of that destruction and damage gives us risk for things like cancer, disorders, and diseases. That's what they're linked to. Antioxidants come in the picture because they interact with the free radicals and they neutralize them. They in effect, they make them inactive. And so they can't do the damage and destruction like they would do. As you all know, I think we all know that our lives are toxic and more toxic this generation than in many generations past. And all these toxins, we're talking pesticides, pollution, a lot of things we can't even control like we can with diet and such. Radiation from microwaves, x-rays, CT scans, our 5G Wi-Fi, all that plays a role in increasing oxidative stress. And scientific research has shown that oxidative stress is linked to 200 and more disorders and diseases. And we're talking diseases like kidney diseases, neurodegenerative diseases, diabetes, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, cardiovascular issues like high blood pressure, arteriosclerosis, stroke, inflammatory diseases, autoimmune diseases, mental health issues like depression and anxiety. And those are just, like I'm saying, some of the diseases that it's linked to, oxidative distress is linked to. So in comes your NRF2 pathway. In comes NRF2 activation, because over time, our NRF2 pathway and other pathways are shutting down, they're slowing down. And with the proper functioning NRF2 pathway, we have a properly functioning neutralizing system. It's amazing. That's what it was created for. We have a regulating antioxidant enzymes. We've got genes and proteins that work to mediate our cellular environment and bring it back into balance, bring it from a hazardous environment to a healthy environment. And we have the ability now more than ever to flip the switch, to turn this NRF2 pathway back on again so that it properly responds and balances our intercellular system. So with Protandim NRF2, it is what we call an activator. It's sometimes known as a supplement because there is no activation category in the health world right now, but that's what it is. It is an activator. It's made up of 5 herbs in small doses that has been shown to reduce your oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days and up to 70% at 120 days. And this finding is backed by multiple sources in independent studies, including groups like Harvard, Ohio State, Louisiana State, the American Journal of Physiology, among others. And it's a synergizer. It's like I said, more appropriately, maybe labeled an activator, activating your pathways in your body to respond and to produce its own antioxidants. I didn't know that our body actually creates antioxidants. We don't have time to go in that now, but our antioxidants that God has put in our body given our body the ability to create are far more efficient than any antioxidants that we can eat. Not saying we don't eat and we try to be healthy, but what a better way to defend against diseases and disorders than our body doing it for us. That's far more efficient. This activator reduces cellular stress by reducing oxidative stress on our cells, and it repairs our cells with a powerful communication between enzymes and our genes, which again, we don't have time to go into gene expression, but that is something that the Protandim Nerf 2 helps with. It's a powerful patented, you might hear about the patents later from someone else, but it's an all natural solution, a tool to support our body's healthy aging process.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of information. And I hope that you are all able to pull some nuggets out of there that just helped you understand the power of the product that we have on our hands. Bethany, when did you first activate? I know you said like at first you didn't. So did you first activate with Nerf 2, and what have you noticed personally since you've started?
Okay, so I heard about it, like I said, like around 2018. And again, I heard about it and started thinking of my family members. I started taking it in October of 2021 for myself, mostly because I thought if I'm going to share this with family, I really should maybe take it myself, make sure there's no side effects and any of that stuff. And I really was just curious. I wanted to know how it made me feel different because I was looking for the feel. I was low 30s and mid 30s when I started taking it. And I thought I was pretty healthy. I had some, maybe normal aging woman hormonal issues a little bit, but otherwise just a tired mom, just running around with my 4 kids, homeschooling. Within the first 2 weeks of taking it, I can tell you that I slept through the night for the first time in over a decade. And that didn't remain. I did not sleep through the night every night thereafter, but I can tell you the quality of sleep that I got, that I slept deeper with better quality from then on and still do. And I can, if you want to know my story, more details, happy to share later. I have to be quick because there's so many other people who want to share. But 4.5 months into taking it daily was my biggest breakthrough. I've been having joint pain for 2 years and was related to my monthly. And I knew after 2 years, I was like, I got to go get labs drawn. I got to figure this out. This is just not right. I'm 34 and this shouldn't be happening. What's wrong with me? At 4.5 months of taking this, my joint pain was completely gone. And I can tell you to this day, it's been 3 years and I have not had any joint pain with my monthly. Including with that, like achy legs was a huge thing for me. And I could give you more details, but I don't have achy legs. I'd say 80% less achiness than before. Anyway, there's more I could say for that, but ask me later. 2 years into it. Nope, let's start with the 1 year. 1 year into it, I noticed headaches. I'd been at my in-laws who are quite healthy. They're on their own health journeys. I was having headaches, multiple headaches a day. I thought they were related to maybe dehydration. So I started a water journal, seeing how much water I was drinking because I knew I was lacking. But 1 year into this, my headaches, I couldn't remember when my last headache was. I was like, wait, I haven't had headaches like I used to have. And my mother-in-law was saying, that's not normal. And I'm like, I know, it's just dehydration. Probably like, I don't know. And she was talking about cutting things in my diet. I'm like, I'm not ready to cut things in my diet. But 1 year into this, taking this activator, I couldn't remember when my last headache was. I was like, how many months ago was that? So that is amazing. 2 years in, I started noticing that things like sore throats and colds were much less intense. And typically they were even less duration, like they didn't last as long as they used to. And I am happy to say, Sarah, you're the only one who knows this, but I had a new revelation. Last month, we went to our LifeVantage conference, and that was my 4th conference I've been to in the 3.5 years that I've been with the company. And someone mentioned their eye fatigue and their headaches and just a whole body, like just feeling like tired, right? Fatigue. after being at the conference, and we've got like a DJ there, and at night sometimes we've got music and it can be loud. Sometimes it's like a concert. And I stopped in my tracks and I literally thought, wait a second. I remember the first two conferences I went to and I had that feeling. I had the eye strain. I had the headache, like a light headache, and I had just a whole body, and I didn't feel it after this one. And I got to thinking about last October, that last conference. I didn't have it then either. And so what a realization. And I have not, I can tell you, you can pity me and it's a problem and I know I need the discipline, but I have not changed my exercise and diet since taking this bad boy. This is the only thing that's majorly changed in my life, and all these things I have noticed. So at 37, I feel healthier than I did at 32 years old. And I see you, Shauna. And that just excites me. It's not perfect. It's not a miracle pill, but it is a tool that I'm using that is definitely upregulating my pathways and just making me a healthier, happier person. And I don't really care to find out what it would feel like to go off of this at 37, 40 years old. I supplements, any drinks that I can't take, if I can't find good healthy drinks, I will not take those. I'll go off of them if I have to, but I will never go off of this baby. And I have to ask myself if reducing my oxidative stress, if flipping the switch to my NRF2 pathway has helped me, who I thought was fairly healthy, what can it do for my family? What can it do for my neighbor? What can it do for you or for anyone that you love?
Yes. Wow. Bethany, you did amazing. Thank you so much for sharing so much of yourself with us and your knowledge and information. We were so blessed by you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're gonna go to Stephanie now. Stephanie, I'm going to tell you first, this is a little fun fact about Stephanie before I tell you more about her, is that about a year ago, we had convention in New Orleans and we were all trying to figure out how we were going to get there. And Stephanie and I did not know each other, and we jumped in the car and went 15 hours to New Orleans and stayed in hotels together, and another 15 hours back home. And yeah, that was just an awesome experience to be blessed to get to know her so well and go with not by myself. So Stephanie Jackson is a post-closing manager for one of the top 20 mortgage companies in the US. She's an activated mom and grandma who loves family, friends, and helping people live their best life. Stephanie, you're unmuted, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's get started with you. My first question for you is, how were you introduced to LifeVantage?
So I want to first off with saying thank you, Sarah, for inviting me to be a part of your panel, part of your dream. It's not only an honor to be a part of this, but it's a privilege to share how this has changed my life. So I want to start off there. And honestly, if anybody has a chance to jump in a car with a stranger and travel 15, 30 hours together to convention, go for it. It has been the most blessed thing in my entire life. So do it. So I learned about LifeVantage from a church friend. I'm going to try to make this a little quicker as best I can. And she was having some success with hair growth because she had been losing a lot of hair. She was in her early 30s. And I too was, because I'd lost over 100 pounds. Part of that is losing your hair too. And so as a woman, y'all know that losing your hair is a thing. And so I was urgently looking for something. And when I saw her having success, I was like, okay, I'll try it. And sure enough, my hair started growing. And for the next 4 years, I shared that wonderful thing with anybody who said they needed hair growth. And I let them order through my account. And I was just being a happy customer for about 4 years.
That's a good customer. So after that, what made you decide to become a consultant?
So I've always been a single mom, and I've been in several companies in order to have an extra stream of income for my family. But also, you get in some companies just for the discounted products. There's really great products and you get a discount when you jump in and you get to have some fun, right? And so I had just left a company, and I had been praying for about 6 months about what I was going to do for that extra stream of income. And I had this really great conversation with a friend. And it was one of those epiphany moments where I was like, oh goodness, I'm sitting here selling a product to a friend and not getting paid for it. And it was like the clouds opened up. I had this big epiphany moment. It was like God said, honey, it's literally right in front of you. Just, it's right in front of you. And I kid you not, I felt that nudge. So it was such a loud nudge that the next day I reached out to Jillian and said, how do I hop into this company? Where do I hop in? And I just jumped right in.
Awesome. How has your life changed or been impacted by that decision?
All right. So personally, this has been one of the most amazing rides. You know, God knew I didn't just need the money, but I needed this team, I needed this company, and I needed these products. And I'm here to share with you a little bit about that. So upon joining this, I decided I was only on that wonderful yellow activator, and it was doing great things for me for 4 years. You know, I didn't know what I didn't know. So that's the only thing I was doing. But when I jumped into the company, it was November of 22, and they had just released this beautiful collagen product in June. And I had right off the bat heard a lot about it and thought, well, I mean, I had never taken collagen before, but I thought this was a good chance to start using a product. And so, you know, I have to tell you that this has been transforming. And so when I started, I was working with an orthopedic surgeon in November in that time, and a physical therapist. I'd had an MRI done that showed that I had a couple tears in my labrum. I have bone-on-bone knee pain that I'd been chronic for 15 years and a birth defect in my lower back. And so I had already been spending, let's see, when I jumped into this company, I was a month, maybe 6 weeks into working with that orthopedic surgeon. And, you know, he was asking me almost weekly, hey, you know, can we schedule a surgery? And I was just like, no, like surgery is not on my to-do list. It's not something I want to take 8 weeks out of my life to do. It's not I'm not in enough pain. And I'd struggled with a lot of pain for 15 years, the kind of pain that keeps you home. It keeps you from doing the things that you love. It keeps you from it kept me from even going to the store sometimes because I just couldn't handle it. Right. And, I just kept pushing this surgeon off to the point that he even came to me once and said, hey, you know, you've spent a lot of money on physical therapy, and I don't feel like we're seeing the results. You know, what about getting some injections in your lower back until you're ready to have surgery? And again, what did Stephanie say? Nah, no, absolutely not. Just wasn't ready for that. I'm kind of not into, you know, I've dealt with pain for 15 years. So unless it's going to debilitate me all the way, then I'm not doing it. So that's kind of where I was. But I just kept doing the physical therapy because I felt like, you know, if nothing less, it was going to give me the strength I needed. Right. And something amazing started happening about 90 days in. You know, your brain has this muscle memory. When you've had chronic pain for 15 years, it expects to hurt at certain movements. It expects to hurt when you step off a curve. It expects to hurt when you climb stairs, or if you have to stand or walk a long period of time, it expects to hurt. And at about 90 days, I started telling friends, hey, the most amazing thing is happening. Like, things aren't hurting the way they are supposed to. My brain is stopping and saying, hey, that didn't hurt. And I just wasn't sure, you know. But between the 90-day and 120-day mark, I decided I'm feeling good enough. I'm just going to stop physical therapy for a while and see what happens. And by 120 days, I was in New Orleans with all of these wonderful people, and I was walking. I didn't have recovery. I was feeling amazing and doing something I would have never dreamed of.
Wow.
So I'm going to keep going here. So what makes this so amazing is activation. You know, you heard Bethany, so I already had all this amazing good stuff inside. And so when I added the True Science Collagen, which is this beautiful thing, this is what helped together make a massive difference. And so what makes this activated collagen different than the rest is that it activates, replenishes, and maintains. Most collagens on the market, they basically only replenish. They add back in what we're using. And so I want to start off with just talking about some benefits of this wonderful thing. So True Science Collagen is a hydrolyzed liquid collagen. So that makes it about 90%. It's bioavailable and makes it about a 90% absorption rate. And your powdered collagens, they're about 20-30% absorption. So you have to take a lot more than your recommended dose to get the same amount of effects as a liquid collagen. Another thing this liquid collagen has is 10 peptides of collagen. So usually you see 1, 2, 3 peptides in a collagen, and they're the basic ones, 1 to what your body's 90% made up of. And that's great. But when you get 10, we're talking about the benefits of a whole body healing, the inside out effect. This is affecting all kinds of organs. It's helping your bones regenerate it's just the most incredible thing, right? And so on top of that, this is infused with red quinoa extract. And so the red quinoa extract helps activate the body's ability to produce its own collagen. There is not another collagen product on the market that helps the body activate its own collagen production. Our collagen production starts reducing at 1% annually at the age of 18. We start to see those effects about 35, 40. We start to see the wrinkles, the crow's feet, the aches and pains. And so in a clinical study, this was shown to 42% increase in density in just 8 weeks. And I tell you, I am one of those people that must have felt that right off the bat, right? We also have a 22% reduction in crow's feet at about 8 weeks. This is massive because that is the results that they look for in Botox. And we're getting this with this wonderful thing without that invasive, procedure. And so it's also infused with several other extracts that help it to downregulate the genes that degrade our collagen. And so this helps us maintain what we already have. So we're activating, we're replenishing, and we're maintaining what we already have. And so our collagen is great by itself, but taken along with our flagship product, it increases our gene expression of SOD by 2,700%. It's really an incredible antioxidant power. And that's just a few of the benefits. We could definitely get into all the gene expression and get real sciencey on you, but I know we're going to try to keep this in layman's and short. So I'd love to share with you more.
Wow. That is a beautiful testimony, Stephanie, of how God used this in your body and in your life. And I thank you so much for sharing that information with us tonight. If for anyone that's on the fence, like hesitating to decide, what would you say to them?
Okay, so here's my thing, and this is what I tell people. If I would have waited to take this product, if I would have hesitated one more minute, I would not have had the life I've had in the last year. This life has afforded me to travel, to walk miles with people without pain, without the need of recovery. And the most amazing thing happened this past weekend. At Easter, I was playing with my grandchildren and I was doing the whole fast walk because I haven't ran since I was a teenager. And, it just felt good. And I ran with my grandchildren this weekend, guys. And my kids were all, Mom, you're running. And, when I say that this brings me to tears, I can tell you that there are many times that this has stopped me in my tracks and almost brought me to like a sobbing effect because the life that it has afforded me. And this is what I have to say. If you don't start now, you don't know what you're missing 90, 120 days out. Don't hesitate on the life that you can have.
That is really good encouragement, because how often is it easy to keep putting things off and look at the quality of life that you've been able to experience by just getting started. Stephanie, that is incredible. I'm crying, tearing up with you on that amazing story. You blessed us, and thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you.
We're going to move to Brad and Rachel Foss. Brad is a full-time physical education teacher and high school football and hockey coach. Rachel is a stay-at-home mom of their 4 children and homeschools amongst many other hobbies. Both Rachel and Brad are retired collegiate athletes who have always been and are still passionate about the power of fitness and fueling the body so that we can live freely. Rachel, are you unmuted?
I'm unmuted.
Okay, cool. There she is. I'm going to start with a question for you, Rachel. Axio is a drink product that is a powerful option for the brain and body. Can you please explain what is in it and why it's so effective?
Absolutely. Like after hearing Stephanie, the word that comes to mind that I think is relatable for all of us is the word perform. When Brad and I talk about performance, we talk about fitness, right? We want to perform athletically. But when we boil it all down, no matter what you do in life, whether it's for work or with your family or going on vacation, being able to take a hike, all of those things are performance. We want to be able to perform. And I'll just say the drink market is a saturated market. It's a saturated market. There are a lot of options from your junky soda to your energy drinks, which is actually taking over the soda industry right now, to all of the vitamin drinks that are available on the market. And we wonder why is this happening? It's because people are looking to perform. They're looking to perform better. We want ourselves and our children to be given the greatest success, right? Like we want to be able to function and to do the best that we can do, both today and tomorrow, right? I want to function better tomorrow than I'm functioning today. And that's what people are searching for. Those are the kinds of results that people want. And truly, that's the vision and the mission of LifeVantage, is to do that through what we call nutrigenomics, which is nutrients and your gene expression. And when we put those two things together, we get optimal performance, we get healing. So what is Axio? Axio is, my husband and I are going to tag team here because we've got 4 little kids in the house. So we'll here and then there. And so just bear with us. But Axio is a brain drink. It's a drink that our brain needs so that our brain can optimally function and therefore fuel our body to do what it needs to do. Each nutrient and ingredient in there is in there for a purpose. So a little background on Axio. It was formulated by a gentleman named Dr. Sean. He was a runner. He was running hundreds of miles. He needed a drink that would help him perform, not just physically perform, but he was looking for mental performance, energy. He was looking for clarity and memory, metabolism boosting, support for his nervous system, and also a sleep aid. Because if you're going to perform well during the day, you best be sleeping well at night. Okay. I don't get a lot of that. So I'm there for that. So he put all of these ingredients in this one drink because he needed them to work together for those results. So what is in Axio, our brain drink? First of all, these ingredients to do that must work synergistically. So we call this a synergistic nootropic drink. It has pine bark, magnesium, vitamin Bs, green tea extract, DMEA, L-theanine, and there's an option for caffeine. And the reason I say an option, there is a decaf option. Actually, my children drink the decaf, and I drink the decaf also, but the caffeine is in there. It's in this micro dose, just a little bit of caffeine, because the L-theanine in your Axio is going to help in that mental clarity and with the sleep aid. The caffeine is there to give you a sense of energy. Together, again, in those very specific doses, what they do is they provide a balance, and that gives anti-anxiety, antidepressant effect. So a lot of people take Axio, and it might shock you, a lot of children take Axio that has caffeine in it, and you think, no, that can't be, right? That's very controversial. Well, the reason they take it is because there's such a small amount of caffeine, and it has to balance out that L-theanine. Otherwise, you'd have kids falling asleep because that's your sleep aid, your mental clarity. So together they work synergistically, and that's why those kids take the caffeinated Axios, to give them that anti-anxiety, to give them a sense of calm, also a sense of focus. So there's just so many benefits to what we call this brain drink.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love my Axio. I drink it faithfully every day, sometimes a couple times a day if I'm indulging. There it is. We have it with us and we love it. And just that it's also knowing that has healthy benefits with it and that you're not just putting down a monster. So thank you so much for giving us some details about that to understand what sets it apart, what makes it special and good. you said that your whole family drinks Axio. How has this impacted each of you?
Yeah, I'll let my husband speak about his story first, and then I'll maybe add here and there, but.
Hey guys, yeah, I'm Brad, Rachel's husband. So I've been taking Axio for like a year and a half, around that amount of time, and all I know for me is it's really helped get rid of some bad habits. I was drinking 3 energy drinks per day that had about 300 milligrams of caffeine in each drink. They have these deals at gas stations. It was a quick, easy fix for me to get through my whole day as a teacher and coach. I have 1 energy drink in the morning, 1 when I worked out, and 1 before practice. About almost 1,000 milligrams of caffeine, and I found that was actually inhibiting my workouts. I couldn't do ab workouts because I would just get these cramps that just would take forever to release, but very painful cramps. And actually, I noticed it during my adult hockey. My arms would cramp up when I was playing hockey, and I threw that away to just be able to take 1 drink in the morning and be good for the day and not have to worry about any of that anymore. And it's been just awesome to save money and not, think about putting 1,000 milligrams of coffee in my of caffeine in my body. So pretty fortunate to find a drink like Axio.
Oh, that was a good story. That's a great testimony, Brad, because there's so many people out there living on energy drinks, living on Monsters, and they get the crash and they go back for the next one, only increasing it. So that is really encouraging and really powerful. Rachel, did you have anything that you wanted to add to that?
Well, I needed Axio for my husband. I truly did. I knew he was going to the gas station. I was like, how do we help this? Like, how do we stop this? And I didn't know there was going to be something on the market that would work equivalent. Really, I was just looking to be healthier. But he was looking for function. He was like, I can't take your healthy drinks if they don't work. Like, I need it to work. And that's that performance piece too. And at the same time, I was drinking Axio for totally different reasons. I was taking it for anti-anxiety. At the time I was a coach. And my husband can attest to this. Coaching's hard. And there would be parent situations. They'd go to the AD. I'd get a call from the AD. I'd have to get a babysitter quick to run in and help with an issue. And there were nights I would not sleep. Like, I would be like hitting him in the side. Like, I'm thinking about this. It's 2 a.m. and I cannot calm my brain down. Like, I'm just high anxiety, and I've got to function as a mom. I can't be thinking about things going on outside of my home during the day when I'm discipling children. And it was working, and I gotta keep drinking this. I gotta keep drinking this so I can focus on the things that God has called me to focus on in these moments. So it was working for me. It's working for him. I'm like, put this in my kid's body, put this in my children's body. And that's why we do that. We all want to be able to perform. I want my kids to be at their best also. And I don't mind fueling their brain. To me, that's like a no-brainer. Let's do it.
Yes. And especially as their teacher, you want them to be able to focus, right?
I do.
So you said that you shared it with, your kids, the whole family. How do you feel like you afford that?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I knew we were buying energy drinks. And I don't know if you guys have looked at the cost of energy drinks. And he would say he was getting them on sale. So, I'm a proud wife. But they're also expensive. If you take a trip to the gas station, some people are taking a trip to the coffee shop. So my Zoom just said it's playing music. Is it playing?
No, you're not.
Okay.
Here's your children.
Yeah. Okay. You want to take them? You want to take all of them?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, you go with that. So for me, I was watching him, go to the gas station every day and pay for energy drinks. So I knew that was already in the budget. Like, it wasn't like we weren't adding anything. And for my children, they were just drinking water, and we were filtering our water. So we're stripping everything out of our water. How am I going to get stuff back in? How am I going to get magnesium back in? So here I am filtering water, which is great to take out all of the crud. But somehow we need to put the nutrients back in their body. So I talked to my husband. I said, listen, you're paying X amount for energy drinks. What if we just swap it for you? And that has been so worth it. And we are a one income family. My husband's a teacher.
Mm,
If we can afford it, anyone can afford it.
Mm.
It's a priority situation. So if you're a coffee drinker, think about what coffee is doing for you. Like what is the value of what you are drinking now?
mm,
And can you provide something better for yourself?
mm. Oh, I think she's striking some chords here. Yes, it's so true though. It's convicting and true. Like we have to look at what we're doing for our bodies and is it the priority? So Rachel, you guys did a phenomenal job. Please thank Brad and thank you so much for taking a part of your night out together from your busy house and your kids to be here and share with us. You guys were a blessing to us. Thank you so much. We're gonna move to Lori. Lori Kopp is a working wife and mom in a blended family, daughter of the king, passionate about preventative health and educating on activation from the inside out. Lori, we are so happy to have you. Are you unmuted?
I am.
There she is. Yay. Awesome. So Lori, I'm going to keep moving with our questions. We're getting longer on our time than we hoped, but we have so much good stuff to share. And we're excited to hear from you because you get to talk tonight about our new enhanced skincare line, which is kind of all the rage in LifeVantage right now. So yeah, you kind of get the extra spotlight tonight. Can you tell us why you are passionate about skincare, just in general?
Yeah. So I just want to thank all you guys for being here tonight. I know it's hard to take time out of a busy schedule. So thank you for hopping on with us. I'm really passionate about skincare for a couple reasons, but it started back in about 2018, 2019. And I just really began waking up to toxic load and starting to think about what was going into my body, whether that was food, personal care, home stuff in the home for laundry. And that topic started off with something actually in the medical field, but of course that permeated into the rest of my life. And so I really just started to think about the everyday products I was using. And of course that I'm a huge skincare and makeup person. So I really started to think about those things. And at the time I was actually with another company sharing makeup and skincare. And I just became really convicted about that and thinking to myself, I don't think I can continue to share this with people because I've just kind of woken up to thinking about some of those toxic ingredients and toxic products. And so my journey started off small, thinking about what in the household I could switch out, what I could start doing. I started making laundry soap, started making hand soap, stuff like that. But then that kind of drifted into a harder area for me, which was skincare. And I really had to start digging in and doing ingredient reading and finding resources that would help me determine what was good, what was okay, what really wasn't okay. And if you're in that place, if you're just starting a journey like that, it can be very overwhelming because there's a lot out there and there's a lot to sift through. And so I want to just point out like two resources that you guys may or may not be aware of. The first one, which our LifeVantage products, our skincare line, collagen are actually on, is Think Dirty. And so Think Dirty is an app that you can download, and it'll score products on a 0 to 8 scale, list all ingredients, list things to be aware of, and it'll give a rating based on what's in there. The other one, which they don't have an app yet, so its website is the EWG, and that's the Environmental Working Group. They have a database specifically for skincare and personal use products, and they will rate stuff 1 to 10, and they break it down a little bit further even into categories like cancer, things to be aware of for carcinogenic effects, allergies and immunotoxicity, effects on development and reproduction, and then use restrictions to be aware of. And so those were two things in the beginning for me that were huge when being able to look at products. Other reasons I'm passionate about skincare, it's our largest organ, you guys. I have one face and one body, and so I want to take care of that because it's the only one I'm going to get. And I just remember, I don't know where I heard this years ago, but start taking care of your skin in your 20s. And I would actually advocate for that even sooner now with the kind of world that we live in, just because of just because of all the toxins that we have. Anything that we use on our face and bodies can actually be absorbed into the bloodstream directly in about 26, 27 seconds, and that's really quick. And so it's important for me to be thinking about what really is in what I'm using, knowing that it is affecting my body. And for me personally, it's one of my favorite forms of self-care. I feel like when my face is clean and well taken care of, whether I am wearing makeup or not, it makes me happy. So
Amen to that. Yes. Can you tell us about the new enhanced skincare system that LifeVantage just launched for us?
yes. So LifeVantage has had skincare for about 12 to 13 years. And it just got a facelift, no pun intended, but they kind of the idea kept everything that was the best stuff to keep, and they upgraded the rest of this stuff. So I actually have everything here with me. And I talked a little bit before about the Think Dirty, and like I said, that our products are on there. So the first product, a very simplified line, I will say too as well. But the first product is our True Clean Refining Cleanser, which is on Think Dirty and is a score of 1. And when I heard that they were doing a refining exfoliating cleanser, I was a little bit nervous because I am very sensitive. My skin is very sensitive. And I thought, I don't know how that's going to work, because you've got kind of two categories of exfoliants. You've got manual, where they'll put like a granule or a bead or something in there that's really working to get those skin cells off. Or companies will use a chemical exfoliant where you don't have the grittiness, but the chemical is doing the work to exfoliate the cells, right? So I was kind of nervous, but this is in between. This is somewhere in between that, because it's an enzymatic cleanser. So they are using pomegranate enzymes that are doing the work to really refine and bring those new skin cells to the surface. The other great thing about this is its pH balance to match the pH of the skin. So I knew that they were going to be launching this, and I had ran out of our old line. And so I was waiting, you guys. And in that meantime, I was like, I got to use something else. And I didn't want to get a whole other line, but it was very stripping. And what I noticed is that it super dries up the skin when it does not balance the pH. So I was getting lots of dry patches, having to use extra moisturizer, but this is not like that at all. And it has also a unique probiotic in it, which is made out of plant sugars. That's also going to help balance all the natural oils in the face. One thing I love is that it doesn't have any artificial fragrance. I don't know if you guys are aware, like I shared about my journey with learning stuff, but artificial fragrance, if it's listed as fragrance or perfume, on a label, is actually an umbrella term where companies can go in, and it literally can be different combinations of thousands of synthetic compounds. And so it's really important to me to look at that. And they're actually using a natural fragrance. It's from the yuzu plant. So it's like a mandarin papaya cross to give it a nice citrus scent without using that artificial stuff. And then our next one is the True Lift Eye Cream, and it comes in a tube like this. And this is also a score of 1 on Think Dirty. This is like your Botox in a tube, but clean, and we're not injecting stuff that's a neurotoxin. I don't know if you guys know that, but Botox is botulinum toxin, and so it is actually a neurotoxin. This is targeting all things eyes, so really anything in that area: dark circles, puffiness, bags, crow's feet, sagging lids, which I know as we get older folks sometimes have to have surgery for that. Fine lines, rough patches, visibly lifts. I'm 39, just for full disclosure, and I've started to experience the rough patches. Didn't know that was a thing on eyelids, but apparently it is. It has a metal tip, which is really great. That has a nice cooling effect to the skin, and caffeine is a good key ingredient in this. This is really going to help waken the eyes up, depuff eyes in the morning. It also has a single-celled microalgae with an amino acid profile that's similar to human collagen fibers. So that's an exciting thing to hear from me personally too. And this is 360 degrees of correction. So a lot of times people will go in just underneath the eyes, but with the metal tip on here that sits really nice against the skin, You want to be going all around, even up into the brow bone, to prevent that sagging. Before they launched this, they did a study, and people were kind of doing and still are doing a 15-minute challenge. And in that 15 minutes, people are seeing 13% increase in eyelid lift, a 15% decrease in roughness, and a 37% decrease in puffiness. So that's just in 15 minutes. And imagine what that's doing in 30 days, in 60 days. Pretty cool. So the next one, I love this one. This is True Renew. Comes in a glass jar, which they upgraded this and one other one I'm going to talk about to glass packaging, which I love. If you've ever done retinol in your life, this is the retinol alternative. I call it a super serum, and it's amped up. I kind of was at a place where I'm tired of trying to figure out which serum to use at my age. Vitamin C, smoothing, hydrating, all these things. They've kind of packaged all this into one super serum. And this is going to target 11 signs of visible aging. So you've got firmness, tightness, lift for those areas that we want to bring up, tone, overall complexion, smoothness, hydrating, the bounce of the skin and its plumpness, and radiance. This is using wild pansy to really help fortify that skin moisture barrier. So again, like I was talking about earlier, not really stripping things, and that decreases as we age, that moisture barrier. And there's no adjustment period. So if you're familiar at all with retinol, a lot of times people will have to do an adjustment period where they're starting at a small percentage and working their way up. And for me, that just was never an option because I have such sensitive skin. So not getting these side effects from that you're used to, maybe with retinol, no peeling, not harsh, a lot of redness. I know people can experience with that, as well as sun sensitivity. People on retinol have to be careful out in the sun. So some cool ingredients, cranberry peptides are working to kind of replace that retinol. This one was really exciting to me. It's called the Eternal Flower. And this one is kind of the activation component. If you remember from Bethany, NRF2 is activating genes. Well, activation is in our skincare too. There's an NRF2 blend in there. And so this is helping to support the synthesis of major components, which are type 1 collagen, and prevent the degradation of what we call the collagen 1 gene. So helping to prevent breakdown of collagen. And then the last guy is our True Hydrate, also in a nice glass jar. And this is the last step. This is what your hydrator is going to be. In skincare, you go from thinnest product to thickest. And so this is the last one. This is going to really work to hydrate, firm, smooth, reduce fine lines and age spots, and support the skin barrier again, combats the damaging effects of the environment. So again, think of that oxidative stress component, but that's happening at a topical level on our skin. And this is very light, you guys. This is one thing I love about it. I've used a lot of hydrators in the past that were very heavy, greasy, and people with oily skin tone don't like that. And so they'll often avoid using a hydrator because they don't want that feeling when they've already got a lot of oil production. But that can actually, when you don't use a hydrator, amp up the skin's production of it more. Some cool things in here, rainbow algae extract, which is from an EcoCert site. If you know anything about certifications on skincare, EcoCert is huge because it means that they're getting it sustainably. And that's going to be working to decrease the dark spots. And then vitamin C is working in tandem with that to help prevent future dark spots. Plantain extract and calcium, again, those two are working to brighten, to rejuvenate, strengthen elasticity, and help with smoothness. And then kind of on day one, use of that particular product, the hydrator, people are equating that to about 2 weeks worth of hyaluronic acid, which is another huge ingredient in skincare. On 7 days use, enhanced brightness and radiance, and then at 28 days, more overall even skin tone and complexion. Like I said, all of the skincare has that NRF2 component, and all of it's made in the US. No parabens, no petroleum, no mineral oil, no artificial. Again, that artificial color and fragrance is huge, and no testing on animals. So those are some cool things about our new updated skincare line.
Wow. Did you guys learn something? She did amazing. Thank you so much, Lori. I have to say, I just would add to that, like for myself, I've never been super consistent at using good skincare. I'd hop around. I did want to take care of my skin, but this is by far the first one that I'm absolutely in love with and dedicated to using. And I even woke up in the middle of the night like this, you guys. I was literally, and I was like, oh, my face is so soft. That's the first thing I thought when I woke up. So it is amazing. Lori, what would you say how the skincare line has impacted your skin personally?
Yeah, so it's been almost 3 weeks now. I've used a lot of stuff. I've used dirty stuff, and I've used clean stuff. And I honestly feel like I've never seen as big as a difference in as short amount of time. And so either products I was choosing before I was getting results, but they weren't great for my body, or they were clean, but they were kind of, are they really doing much? And so even within the first week, you guys, I was noticing I have a lot of old acne scars, so that kind of red pigmentation, and those were starting to decrease. And that hydrator, I'll tell you what, I felt like definitely a better bright complexion in just a week. And the smoothness, I'm just going to brag on the cleanser for a second. Like Rachel said, with Axio and drinks, cleansers are a dime a dozen. I feel like everybody has one, and nothing really stands out to me personally. I've used them, but they're not memorable. I used this once, you guys, and I'm like, is this a fluke? Do I need to use the rest of the products? Because my skin was so smooth and moisturized after just using a cleanser. And so that blew me away. And the eyelid roughness, like I said, with the eye cream, that's just a bizarre thing, I think, with aging. So that's definitely helped. And then I'll say the True Renew, which is that super serum and the hydrator, they are just so luxurious, you guys. It kind of reminds me, it's not a gel, but it does remind me of like a gel cream hybrid. So super high quality, like spa level quality, I would say, on this stuff. And so, yeah, I've been really impressed with it more than I've ever been with anything else prior. So
Awesome. That sounds amazing. And I can see why you're in love. Lori, thank you so much for taking the time to share with us tonight. You had incredible knowledge and we all learned a lot from you. So thank you so much for sharing.
yeah, you bet.
Jen, you are our last guest. We're saving the best for last. You guys might remember at the beginning, if you were here in the beginning when I started this, I said that I was introduced to this by my friend Jen, and here she is. She's been an amazing leader and mentor and supporter through the last couple years. And so I just want to share a little bit about Jen. She worked at corporate retail for over a decade. Now a working educator and single mom of 2 kids, ages 15 and 12. Loves Jesus, is passionate about helping others with their health and helping them discover a path to more possibilities. So Jen, welcome. We're going to start with, we have a few questions for you. You're covering kind of a whole category, but I know you're really good at pulling it all together. So can you share with us, when you joined LifeVantage, how did you feel about this being a network marketing company?
Well, hi. Hey, everybody. Thanks for hanging on with us. Love having you here. And I just love the opportunity to be able to share. So how did I feel about this being a network marketing company? I didn't know. I met my friend and mentor at a homeschool basketball league, and she is a homeschool mom. All I saw was earbuds in her ear, talking on her cell phone. I was like, well, I could probably do that. So I signed on with the company, and it was only a few weeks after that that I realized that it was a network marketing company. But I will say I had prior experience in a little bit of network marketing in high school when my parents dabbled in one of the largest network marketing companies, from like the 80s, raise your hand if you're in the 80s. And yeah. And so I had gone to a couple of meetings with them back then, and it was very standoffish, very like you couldn't talk to the people that were sitting on the couches or whatever. And so my own personal stigma around network marketing was very skeptical. And so here I am now joining a network marketing company, but I'm telling you, nothing about what I experienced in the past is what this company is. And you can see that from the screen. If you have a large view, is that we're just everyday people trying to make a difference in other people's lives. And so thank God that he has brought me into this industry.
Yes. I thank God for you for it too, since you brought me here. Out of the plethora of health and wellness companies in this industry, why did you choose LifeVantage?
Yes, there are a lot. And again, I didn't know this coming into it. And I didn't know that there were so many within the health and wellness industry itself. There's just a plethora of them. I had researched quite a few before, hearing from friends and things like that prior to this. But a few things that have stood out for me in this company is, number one, it's publicly traded. And because of that, everything is out in the open. We are scrutinized down to the penny, and there just are no secrets. And with that, you can't just uproot a company and say, hey, we're done. There's a process that it has to go through. And so that's one of the biggest things for me, is that we are publicly traded. We have a board of directors. I don't know if anybody else has heard of this amazing woman named Erin Brockovich. She is a truth teller, and she's going to sniff out a rat if she finds one. And she just happens to be on our board of directors. So that makes me feel very at ease with this company. We have a CEO, and the other thing too is that we are debt free. And I don't know if anybody else has been through Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University. If you haven't, I encourage you to go look at that. But as a single parent, back in 2011, I started taking those classes, and I realized how big of a deal it is to become debt free. And I've been debt free since 2013. And so I'm never going back. And so just to be a part of a company that has that same mindset and also has millions of dollars in reserve, just another huge reason why I love LifeVantage in particular.
Yes, those are definitely good reasons. How do you manage running a business, working, and being a single mom?
I don't know. Other than the grace of God, that's all I'm going to say. You see Rachel, she did an amazing job on the Axio. She's got her babes with her. It's a lot like that. It's just working things in the nooks and crannies. And I am so passionate and hungry that I make the time. And, we don't promise any type of financial outcome here. You work your business as hard as you want. You don't work it as much as you want. It's completely 100% up to you. But as a single parent, having extra money on the side and eventually becoming a free range human is obviously a goal that I want to have, not only for myself, but to leave generational wealth for my children. And so how do I do it? The same way I was brought on, with earbuds and a cell phone. It's so great to be able to do your business from wherever you are.
Yes, connected on the run. Totally. You spent over a decade of your life working retail for corporations. How would you say that network marketing is different from corporations?
Oh gosh. So this is where that stigma, that negative stigma comes in. When you first hear the word network marketing, people automatically assume it's a pyramid scheme. And coming from corporate America, in my own personal opinion, that actually is a pyramid scheme, because here I was at the bottom of the totem pole, and never in my career was I ever going to reach the top. I mean, maybe I would have, but how long would it have taken me? And I never would have met my CEO. My CEO was never going to fly to Jordan Creek, West Des Moines, Iowa, to come say, hey, Jen, how you doing? Let me see how I can build your business, and let me rally behind you. It doesn't happen in corporate America. There's certain standards and there's certain ways that things need to be done. And it's just a box, really. It's what it is. And so network marketing, the industry, regardless of what you think about it, it actually is that pyramid tipped upside down. And so here I am at the bottom, but I have all of these people. And again, I have teammates on here. I have teammates that are cross-line, that don't necessarily have anything to do with my business or our business, but they're all here supporting us. I have friends on here that are just here supporting us. This is life together, and to be able to experience that and to travel, like you guys said, 15 hours together to, a state you've never been to. You don't get that in corporate America. You don't get that in the retail space. And so for me, it's just, here I am, and I have all these people surrounding me, helping me, and we're all just trying to make it. And there's just so much potential for each and every person that wants to join this industry.
Yes. So true. I have loved getting to do those things with you. Traveling and working together has been a huge blessing for me. How has the compensation plan helped your family?
In the beginning, it was just a matter of do the work, Jen, put the work in because you're helping people, and it still is that way. I don't talk lightly about money because it's not what drives me. I have been a single parent for 10 years, and finances have always been something that have, come up, obviously, but God is good and He is faithful and He always provides. And so being able to help people not only with their health, but with their finances has been such a huge blessing. And so I remember back before our compensation plan evolved and got a little bit more advanced, I came home, my first paycheck was $16. And I was standing in the middle of aisle 4 at a hardware store where I was working. And I just remember my eyes welling up with tears, because I thought, even this amount can help go toward, my daughter was in gymnastics at the time, this could help go toward her leotard. And there are so many people out there, they're like, oh, if I could just get $10 more or $5 more, we're grateful for that. And so it kind of all stemmed from there. And I just laid it at the feet of the cross. And I said, Lord, take this business. It is yours. Whatever you choose to give me, I'll count that as a blessing. And then our compensation plan changed last March. And I will tell you that it's helped my family significantly. Probably within the first 4 or 5 months, I didn't have to worry. And since then, I didn't have to worry about rent, utilities, gas, groceries, things like that. Everything was pretty much all taken care of. And that's because of amazing customers and teammates. But when our compensation plan changed, I saw a triple increase in my annual income. And so between last year and this year, it was triple increase, over a $10,000 increase in pay. And so, how can that not be a blessing? And how can't we not share that with other people who are in dire need of finances? And to do it with a vehicle that is pure and it's changing lives and helping other people is just, it's been wonderful.
Yes. Oh, it was a big change, and the company has blessed us significantly with their change in their compensation plan. So Jen, to close this, if anyone's willing and interested in joining us tonight and locking arms with us and LifeVantage, what do the next steps look like?
Next steps are very simple. I'll just put it into 3 categories. The first thing is get with the person that brought you here, ask them how, and they can show you. The second step is you just pick an enrollment pack, and all that means is you're just purchasing product. So you can be a product of the product. And with that, you get your own website, you get your own app, and other things that come with it, trainings and things like that. So it's really just that simple. There is a $50 annual consultant fee. But other than that, as you first sign on, that's the only investment that you're making. And I can tell you that if you work the business and you do it, you will make your return on investment very, very quickly. The third step is then you just decide what you want to get for your monthly subscription. And that's basically it. So it's a very simple process, not a lot of headache to go along with it. And, if you could purchase your own business and become your own entrepreneur for under, $1,000, then why wouldn't you? It just seems like a no-brainer to me. So anyway, but definitely get back with the person that brought you here. And I just want to say thank you again for having me, Sarah. You have done an amazing job. We need to give you a round of applause. Thank you for bringing this to our attention and allowing us to have this opportunity. I am so super proud of you, and for all the teammates and colleagues on board, you did an amazing job. So thank you everybody for being here, and we love you.
Yes, we love you. Thank you so much. We just want to encourage you, if you have questions, any questions at all tonight, to get back with the person that invited you. We have some groups that you can be a part of where you could see other people's testimonials, not just the ones that were shared tonight. So we can connect you to those groups as well. And as always, thanks so much for the time tonight, and we love you all. Good night.
You did so good.
Oh, thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
Hey,
Let's
stop
see.
the recording.
Yeah.